Hi, I'm Will Crombie.
And I'm Carly Crombie.
And this is the organic compound in Faribault, Minnesota, and we're partnering for agroforestry. We're really lucky to have family land that we're here farming on. We have 42 acres of mixed agroforestry. One of our primary crops is tree range chicken, so that's the brand that we raise regenerative poultry for. And we also have hazelnuts, oak, sugar maple, elderberry, and a bunch of other woody crops on the land.
So our parents helped us overcome one of the biggest challenges to even implement agroforestry is land access. We were able to partner with our family and get the support to plant our dreams out here with these trees from the gift of land access and from Will's parents wanting to be able to work with us and to regenerate this little parcel of earth with us in those ways.
And the other layer of our partnership is the fact that we have 3 other business partners that co-founded Tree Range Chicken with us. So
startup capital is huge to be able to not just be coming from one family's income, but those 4 partners really becoming pillars for the company and not having to be too much weight on just one individual.
It was the first farm to scale up this concept of regenerative poultry production, which our business partner, Reginaldo Hazlet-Marroquin, has been developing and studying throughout his lifetime. And we've been a part of that journey of bringing about regenerative poultry production brand. So basis of our farm partnership story, our partnering for agroforestry, is the fact that we had business partners that helped us get the startup capital. We had family land, and from there we planted it out, started building the brand and increasing the production in the agroforestry on our land. The food brand wasn't gonna have vested interest in this land forever. Eventually the transition needed to happen to Carly and Will. So now we're taking over that lease and we're taking over the farm as individuals, as farmers.
Farmer owned instead of like business owned.
So now we're gonna be paying back the infrastructure. We're going to be paying back for the barns and the well, but at a much lower cost. It's a really good deal for us. So I don't know if that's a model that other people could follow. If there's a way that farmers can partner up front with brands and with food businesses like we did, I think it's a really interesting partnership model.
And I think that those are 2 key elements that hold a lot of people back, is the startup capital or operating loans, or a lot of people have to go through banks, and then having land. So those 2 things have been such a blessing and a gift to even make this possible.
And we weren't farmers before all this.
Right, so education is another huge piece, is like having the wisdom and the education to implement some of these practices. And maybe part of it when we started off we would have done different now, being like 5 years in and learning as we go. But we've planted thousands of trees, and sometimes now is better than later.
So one thing that makes our partnership successful is that we had also done the work to build a strong community, our foundational community that helped support us in getting the trees planted when we did the tree planting, and all throughout this journey over the last 6 or 7 years.
Especially during harvest time is like our biggest community event, and we really invite everyone out here to see the farm in full fruition and to help us harvest nuts. We're not mechanically harvesting yet, it's all by hand right now, so to have the community support to even make this work is huge.
Having a strong alliance with your local community and creating those experiences for other people to come out onto your farm and be a part of those harvest days and to get their hands on the land I think is really empowering for people to see themselves
as part of the solution. They're very much like making a physical impact by the way that they're showing up. They're out in the field. They're feeling very included in, the regeneration. They're very much part of direct action. People feel good about that when they can actually be out there making a difference. And then you see the harvest, and it only brings the community in closer each harvest.
And some people are coming out here because they want to own a farm like this too, so they're getting that education, they're getting that experience, they're seeing the hands-on aspects of the farm. So education is a big component of our farm. We're hosting the harvest days and garden gatherings and getting people out here on the land doing farm tours.
Right, and working with like local organizations like the SFA and you know, sharing our roots, and just like organizations within our community that are doing the same things. And that's another like unspoken partnership, I guess, too, to talk about, is just like all the other little hubs of people that are in your same community and with the same little niche of being like, oh, like, yeah, we're taking care of chickens or we're doing perennials, to just like connect with them and see which ways you can support, whether it's like sharing equipment or sharing field aids and things like that.
Savannah Institute sharing our story, Regenerative Agriculture Alliance really fully supporting the regenerative poultry production by purchasing a processing facility. That's a huge barrier, is the access to processing and access to the equipment and the machinery is a real gatekeeper for these kind of industries to flourish. So
right. I think that's like one of the biggest partnerships is like within, for all of the little nuances of how to actually keep things functioning, is shared resources between organizations, or those kind of partnerships that really like nourish and help save capital and help save like labor costs and everything, like the elderberry destemmer. Not every farmer needs elderberry destemmer. It's like a one-time harvest and you come out to our farm and use ours.
Which we got through a grant from
partnership.
From Kiss the Ground, and then also the Midwest Elderberry Cooperative was another layer of that grant, was the reason why we got the elderberry destemmer. So like the nonprofit partnerships are huge, and not only just telling our story, but equipping us and empowering and educating people. So there's that capacity to partner with the institutions and then the brands and to increase the production and to increase the diversity on the land, because agroforestry really allows for so much diversity. So many different layers of enterprises can be established on a land. Like there's 2 women that keep bees on our property. We've rented an alley out for herb growing. We've rented our property out to other livestock owners, and I would just love to continue to create space for more diversity of partnerships on our land. Somebody could there's space for 2 more barns, and somebody could be managing that production, or we could take that on ourselves. There's just, with agroforestry, there's just an infinite, it seems, amount of ways that people can partner on land to make a profit and to work together. And I think it's really important that people do that.
Especially the people that have the land access, like people like us. It feels like part of my responsibility and my duty to open that up and get it at its full potential. Like we don't have the carrying capacity to monitor or to care to steward every single square inch of this property, but there's so much potential for our farming friends, or for like our land stewarding friends, or our herbalist friends, to come and use these resources here. You like utilize the community that's here, the space that's here, the physical land that's here and available. To be able to share the resources that we have is a really powerful partnership on our end, to be able to be the ones offering something. You know, like your parents have been so generous to take care of the land in the way that they are caring for it, by letting us be their stewards, and then for us to extend that opportunity to people is only going to benefit our community and our soil. And
as the agroforestry further establishes itself, the land only gets richer, and the abundance only compounds and multiplies.